and then Omega being 58 on the current global ranking. But anyways, that was still a year in review, so I'm excited to see how this matchup plays into the two different continents of players.
Yeah, Joker is a character that we have. Actually, I would say, like, we used to, like, a few years ago, you could say, oh, a little bit of a fall off, not as much. But in the last few years, especially in Japan, we've seen a huge increase in his character, like, mainly with Tsubaki. But Omega has been making, he's talked about 58th this year. We're making a huge jump in that, like, that skill in between the next closest Joker.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks as though we are getting started, going to be resetting to neutral, but both players have just been respecting each other's spaces very well. Ooh, but finally the Arsene coming out as well, going to be getting us started, but not if Asimo can do enough damage. Great first. Not quite the stock either from Omega, but we are going to be seeing near-death situations.
Yeah, both of these players are going to be exploding you with rage, and Asimo is just looking for that one hit, of course, because Shoryuken is explosive at these high percents, as well as Tatsumaki. But you don't need that when you have up smash out of shield.
Absolutely. Asimo going to be drawing first blood. Omega, though, pretty determined, even without the Arsene anywhere near, to get great footstool into the gun. It's a big up air chain as well, but not going to be able to find the stock just yet. 113%. It's going to be a little tricky without his buddy Arsene.
Yeah, right now we're just seeing this, looking at this foot to dance. We all know what Omega wants right now, and that is fair one. Because that drag down is going to be explosive, especially if you can get into the up smash, or even if you need to, that the chain, right? And Asimo is well aware of this, and is trying to get his way in, a little bit of fireball, but eventually fair one will come and it will hit.
Absolutely, and just as I was saying, the Arsene really helping out a whole lot. Hopefully Omega is able to get a lot more damage off of while the Arsene is online in order to make up some of the damage. Great counter there, but sending out a whole lot more Shakunetsus from Asimo, trying to get a little bit more space, but difficult when you are attempting to recover against Omega.
Yeah, these huge hitboxes are going to be what kills Asimo in the long run. You have Nair, which we just saw can be used. It's a big circle. It lingers for quite a while, and with that back air, that's going to be one of your main neutral tools as well. But you can't get too close, and that's why you're using the Nair and the back air.
That is exactly what we are seeing, and Asimo really being a good, really just having this excellent wall of defense. You have all of those jabs at the ledge, you have the Shoryuken as your main goal, but it's just beautiful that the way that he's able to wall out Omega without using any projectiles at all.
Yeah, that's 37 off the bat. Your next hit should give Arsene, and Asimo's at that percent where really not a lot should do it unless you can find, like, there's that one big hit, right? Because you have a few percent to play with before the combos are going to actually be at that high percent, and that's about now. Yeah, but you also have to watch out off stage, and you don't have your usual focus, right? Because Arsene gives you 2 hitboxes, and why bother about that when you can just Shakunetsu off stage.
Yeah, Shakunetsu, the bear kill screening as well, but yet to see any kill the focus coming out preemptively from Asimo. He knows what to expect from Omega, but is still not able to find it. And there we go. It is going to be the fair to close out that 2 stock for Asimo over Omega.
Yeah, that we saw, like, of course, the first kill screen was the bear. That is a surprisingly threatening move because, of course, auto turnaround exists. So you actually have, it's kind of obvious when you're planning on trying to do it, but it's so big, it's decently fast, and it's strong. It is a strong move. So you can try your best to avoid it with how much that Ryu as a character has, like, mix-ups. Of course, with focus being, like, focus is a way you can change your direction in the air. You have to watch out, and Asimo is well aware of this, and he decided, I'm just going to pull it. You know what I'm going to do. I'm going to rip it, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think he's also gotten to a point in their first game where he is starting to pick up on some of Omega's panic habits, like what we saw in the very last second. He seemed to be a little bit too eager to find his kill options, even though he was down an entire stock, which you expect to see. But getting us started into the next game, one can only hope that Omega is starting to pick up on some of perhaps Asimo's habits.
Yeah, and I would say I do like the stage pick. The PS2 small battlefield layout is very common in this game, of course. We see it a lot because these are the stage people like the most. But Small Battlefield was definitely a smaller stage than this PS2 is, and it's because it allows Omega to move as freely as he wants and run and just mix up Asimo quite a bit.
He is playing so differently from what we saw game number 1. It almost felt like he was on a warm-up, but now he is finding his spacing. He is being so much more oppressive than what we saw before. Look at Omega, the way that he's able to find these up air chains as we weren't able to see as much previously. And the other difference is Asimo has been stuck on the ledge this entire game.
And he got Arsene at such a good percent too, because it carried into the second stock. And look how much damage Asimo took. He's actually got lapped already. Just for a little bit, but Asimo, it felt like Asimo is not been getting the most out of these ledge situations that we see a lot of players struggle with, right? With the auto turnaround, you can't just roll as you want because they can just smash down to it and it's gonna, that was supposed to be down gun. We all know that was supposed to be down gun, and unfortunately it is gonna lose him the stock.
Yeah, an unfortunate misinput there from Omega, but Asimo going to be taking any sort of advantage or lead that he can, going to be sending us back to neutral. And now Omega still has to be able to claw his way back to an advantage position. Asimo has those shots. Oh man, that Shakunetsu may not have been the option because Omega was still able to see through it.
Yeah, we saw that offstage interaction. Focus really coming into play, but also saving the jump was a big thing. Because he faded out originally to try to avoid the second back air, and he did avoid the second back air. And it allowed him to jump over Omega, who had to commit to another jump to get out of that, and allow him to get back to stage. If he can play with this rage, this can be a stock as early as 80%. But he has to live it, right?
Yeah. No, that's definitely the stock. And
Whoa!
Omega with Arsene, you don't know, you can't count him
Good
out.
tech!
Beautiful tech, avoiding the counter. That was amazing from Asimo. Perfect parallel play that you need to have in this scenario. 182%, as you were saying, Nick. If he can take this rage, then there is nothing that Asimo can't do.
79%. And you can see just how much space Omega is taking up with the running away. That backer is finally going to take it. It doesn't matter what percent you're at, that backer will eventually hit you.
Yeah, that is definitely the stock, that was definitely the option in order to take that final stock. And now Omega just trying to rack up as much extra credit as he can without necessarily approaching Asimo. Going to be going for a lot of the guns as well, not necessarily wanting to touch him because when you are getting ledge trapped, that is not the place to be. Taking back a little bit of his advantage and now retreating to neutral.
Yeah, and Shakunetsu coming out right now, trying to just play this little poke game, because we've seen that Asimo can live quite a while. Ryu's not a light character. No, of course not like a super heavy, but he's not light either.
Unlike Joker. You know?
Unlike Joker, who is definitely more on the lighter side. I would hope a high school boy is a little bit lighter than a grown man trained in the martial arts. But Dashlight's actually going to take the stock there. And this game is close now. Asimo was able to crawl back from such a huge deficit. And if he can build up his rage a little bit, he can, once again, we can see another situation like on the second stock where he can do quite a bit of damage. Not going to get up that time. Do it.
No, but still looking for those. Not able to find the up-air chains that we actually wanted. And Omega still looking to find any damage on this final stock. The Shakunetsu follow-up from Asimo definitely wants to try to put as much damage as possible. Unfortunate misinput, sending the Hadouken all the way to the other side of the stage and continuing to lead Omega into a false sense of security. That was what he thought was the correct option. With the counter, and there it goes. Finding the very end of that great stock from Asimo, being able to close out this game 2-0 so far.
Yeah, we've been seeing I was talking about how Asimo in the first game, a little bit in going into the second one, was actually not getting most of his kills at the ledge, right? Omega was getting grounded pretty well, mostly with those wall jumps, mix-ups, and just keeping Asimo on his toes. And Asimo kind of just realized that he has a lot of options to cover your ledge, even more than we thought at first, including that the F-tilt into Bear is going to take it.
Yeah, the stage pick seemed like it was working very well for Omega, so I wonder if going right back to PS2 is going to give him the chance that he needs to find more adaptations.
Yeah, he's managed to find this middle space, which is so good for him, because once again, do not want to fight any FGC character close up if you don't have really good moves. And Joker's not exactly that type of character, so if he can look at his space, he knows when disadvantage is about to concur, and just keep neutral, keep your neutral.
No, that's exactly where you want to be, especially at this percentage when you're not looking for a kill option, but when Arsene is out, that is what you are looking for. That stock from the upper platform is absolutely going to be eating Omega.
And he got it on pretty early into that Arsene, and he has quite a bit to play with. Could get as much as 40% right now. Could get as little as another 20 if he can lose the stock right here. Only getting about like 30, which is not terrible. And you
no, not terrible. When you have, especially when you have almost an entire stock to play with, that is what you want. But when you have him off stage, this could not be the stock for Omega. Unfortunately, not going to be making that tether. But Asimo going to be trying to take advantage of the situation as much as possible.
Immediately getting more than half that damage back. But that is the thing about the second stock, Joker, that you get that Arsene back really fast. There we go.
Yeah, the Arsene coming out already, but all of the option from Asimo going to be trying to take it out as quickly as possible. But Omega determined to make it last as long as he can. The Arsene helping him and guiding him in this next set and taking yet another stock with the Arsene gone. Asimo now has a chance to try to make up as much as he can on his final stock.
Yeah, we're just seeing right into chase. Yep, that's the old classic FGC. Wait for you to panic and just follow up with your really fast down tilts.
Yeah, great follow-up from Asimo. Going to be trying to lead us back into possibly a game 3, but not going to be stopped just yet by Omega, as he seems to be finding him off stage. Not enough just yet in order to take that stock. Oh man, I got a little scared there for a second.
Yep, play with the gun, play with your side B. Just keep Asimo out. He has that rage now. You do not want to interact with him, especially because you can take his slow coverage damage you just took in the last 4 seconds. Getting sour spot. Oh no.
All right, playing a little bit at the ledge, and again, it seems as though Omega is a bit emboldened to approach with the Arsene, but I wouldn't really rely on it too much. Missing the hit! He missed it at the final second. Omega, though, took advantage of the situation, and that is going to be his first game on the board over Asimo.
We did see that the air dodge come in. Just a lot of the main issue with a lot of like those combos, special combos, is that there are sour spots that exist, and not even sour spots. There's just weird hitboxes, and they don't fully connect. And we saw it there. He did get hit with the up tilt, but it was so far away from the actual hit that it was so far away from like Asimo that it allowed Omega to air dodge out. And I mean, Asimo still pulled the trigger, and well, he died for it.
I think that at that point, Asimo had hard committed too much to that he wasn't going to be able to find like maybe an alternative at that scenario. He had already hard committed. He was stuck in the end lag, and then Omega got a chance for a free punish, and that's exactly what we saw.
Yeah, and we're going back to small battlefield. Definitely a decision that makes perfect sense. The layout wasn't the issue in that last game, right? It was the spacing. It was Asimo being kind of spaced out by the guns with side Bs for that big stage, and we're going to go to small battlefield to try to limit that as much as possible. Yeah, just trying to bait out like a jump there or the roll, because you got punished in that game too for that. Just doing it. Why not? Why not?
All right, and that is going to be a pretty quick lead from Asimo getting us started. Omega, however, doesn't have the Arsene with him, still wants to make the most of this stock as possible, but getting us back to Asimo off stage, going to be looking for this opportunity where he can. The Shakunetsu, though, doing so much for Asimo as Omega seems to be intent on rolling in the wrong direction.
Yeah, also just a side thing, we've been seeing a lot of these like footstool out of shields, either to try to combo into like the down gun, or just as an escape option. And it's actually been helping quite a bit in these like shield positions that FGC cases love to have you in.
Yeah, it's something that we've been seeing, and I'm sure it's great for Asimo,
oh
but Omega definitely wants to take the stock while he can with the Arsene, already at a pretty high percentage. Not enough to take the stock either. Asimo going to be living to see almost the ledge, not quite just yet, and the Arsene is gone. Now Omega really has to pull out all the stops if he wants to find this. The back air not going to be enough to follow up either, as Asimo seems so determined to live. Omega finally following up, but not quite enough to stop the bleeding.
They didn't get the strong spot there on the Shoryuken, but as long as still at this ledge position, getting the down gun's a grab, getting this early combo damage. And he hasn't even gotten Arsene. Oh my god. He hasn't even gotten Arsene yet.
No, he's actually pretty far away from Arsene, and Asimo still pretty close to taking that stock, as we were just about to see there. And Omega just has, Omega's been getting caught in a lot of his, in the way that he techs it, he rolls away, and Asimo has been picking up on that so much, and that's exactly why Ashimo's been able to rack up so much damage, enough that he's able to kill Omega faster.
Yeah. One thing back to this poke game, the issue is you are down, right? You have to already force Ashimo to come in originally, but if Ashimo is just going to play back, he will, right? He knows that you have to be the aggressor, because with this rage, if you build up this percent, it doesn't matter what how campy you want to play. You know, you only wasting more of your time.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. And Asimo, though, he's almost had that jab. I was looking for that follow-up, but still knows he's in the position of the aggressor and not going to be following up with that stock. The focus coming out. That is going to be game number 4, going to Asimo, 3-1 over Omega.